afternoon to all of our listeners. This is Kennedy Drake, your host for Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm here to bring you the latest stories in news, sports, and weather to ensure you're well informed about the happenings in your neck of the woods. And to make things even more exciting, our special guest, Miss Sonia Woods, will talk with us about taking a gap year and how it benefited her life. Trust me, you won't want to miss what she's got to share. But before we jump into all this excitement, here's a quick message from our sponsor.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Southern Miss Student Media is how USM communication students put their education into action. The student prints, Southern Miss Radio, SMTV, and SM2 Creative are the media properties operated by Southern Miss Student Media. You can get your share of the more than $600 million USM brings to the area with help from Southern Miss Student Media. To find out more about how to reach the USM audience, email sm2sales@usm.edu.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. In USM campus news, tune in to the Women in Humanities panel happening this Tuesday, March 19th. The event will last from 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. in room 101 in the Liberal Arts Building on the USM campus. Join an engaging discussion led by 5 faculty members. They will explore the diverse perspectives of studying women's lives within humanities disciplines. It will be facilitated by Dr. Nicole Jordan. This panel promises insights about gender, equality, culture, and social norms in academic lenses. Don't miss out on this thought-provoking event shedding light on the valuable contributions of women in the humanities. Get ready to groove and celebrate women empowerment with the Women's History Month Dance Concert. The concert will be on Thursday, March 21st from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. at the Studio 115 in the Theater and Dance Building. Experience an electrifying showcase of choreography and performances by our talented faculty and students from the USM dance program. It's a vibrant celebration of empowerment, creativity, and the incredible contributions of women throughout history. Don't miss out on this exciting event filled with rhythm, movement, and inspiration. Mark your calendars as we honor Women's History Month in style. A USM Honors College student has earned the prestigious national recognition for research. Zach Wallace is an honorable mention recipient of the 4th annual cycle of the Rising Black Scientist Award. This is a national essay competition that provides recognition and funding awards in support of the professional development of talented Black scientists. Wallace is a senior from Jackson, Mississippi, looking forward to graduating in May. Winners receive $10,000 to support their research and a $500 travel grant. Wallace and 3 other recipients were recognized with $500 each. Their essays are published in the open access journal called iScience. In Wallace's essay, it's called Memories That Last, where he highlights his experience throughout high school and college to indicate the need for more Black representation in STEM. Everyone in Cell Press is inspired by all the recipients and proud to share their stories. In Hattiesburg news, cameras installed in active school zones to help police catch speeding drivers could be the new reality for Hattiesburg residents. This week, Hattiesburg City Council will receive a proposal for camera assistance and enforce speed limits in active school zones. The city surveyed residents and had several town meetings about the issue. Toby Barker said that more than 80% of people surveyed agreed about the new technology. If the City Council approves a pilot project, will start in late April or May. Cameras would be in the school zones in Hardy Street near Woodley Elementary and West 7th Street near Grace Christian Elementary. Toby Barker then said that those are the 2 school zones that we see a lot of speeding and people looking to cross the street when walking. He thinks that it's a great idea to implement this in Hattiesburg school zones. Barker said the pilot project will give officers in the court system time to get used to this new technology before it's implemented throughout the city. If implemented, Hattiesburg will be the first city in the state to use this camera assistance while an officer is at the active school zone. Hattiesburg leaders' main hope is just to keep kids safe. That's your news update from Southern Miss Today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back with our action-packed sports segment. Put your jerseys on because it is game time. A lot happened over spring break as several teams played. This past Sunday, the Southern Miss outdoor track and field team completed the South Alabama Invite with 6 first-place showings. This was exactly 3 winnings for both the women and men. On the women's side, Jada McDougall finished first in the 100 meters with a time of 11:59. Other women to finish were Trinity Fagler, Saba Varnell, and Trinity Benson. The men became event champions with the 110-meter hurdles. The Lady Eagles are heading to the postseason Women's National Invitational Tournament. The first round of games will span from March 20th through the 22nd and will take place at various campus sites. The Lady Eagles finished the regular season by winning 4 out of 6 games in the Sun Belt play. They even advanced to the Sun Belt Conference Tournament quarterfinals. Basketball completed a sweep with their Sunday victory against Marshall. The final score was 7-5. Carson Beto belted a 7th-inning 3-run home run to break against the game. Beach volleyball also won their game on Saturday against Stephen F. Austin. Golden Eagle Beach Volleyball finished its weekend at 4 competitive matches with a 2-2 record in another Sun Belt Conference victory. This places Southern Miss at 2-0 in Sun Belt play. They are now ahead of this upcoming weekend Sun Belt mid-season seeding tournament. Congratulations to all of our Golden Eagle athletes. As for your weather today, it is currently 60 degrees with a high of 62 and low of 40. It's mostly sunny today despite the cool temperatures. It's quite windy outside, especially in shady areas, so make sure to bring a light jacket if you go outside anywhere. Up next, we have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center of Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments on MPB, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Family history is our personal connection to the past. Ethel Patton DeAnjou of Claiborne County tells the story of her great-grandfather's escape from slavery.
My mother says as a child she went to stay with her grandparents a while. And she said her grandfather told her the story himself, how as a boy he was a slave. And that his mother told him, we're going to run away. And they started to run. And as they started to run, the master turned the dogs loose on them. And the dogs got his mother, and she fell down. He stopped to help his mother. He's 12 years old. And he said his mother looked up at him with blood coming. Everybody said, go on, son. Don't stop. Go on. Go to freedom. She just insisted. And he sadly left his mother. And as his siblings grew up, who were the master's children, they tried to get him to come and go to Texas with them. They were sorry for what their father had done. But he wouldn't go. He said he's going to stay with his children in Mount Bayou, Mississippi.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Sonia Woods. So stick with us while we hear a message from one of our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Are you in a hurry? Well, I am. But as a paralyzed veteran, I had to overcome incredible challenges just to regain my independence and return to work. Finding a parking space shouldn't be one of them. Illegally parking in spaces reserved for people with disabilities is not only wrong, it's against the law. So please, think twice before pulling into a reserved parking spot. Even if it's just for a minute, it's 60 seconds too long. This has been a public service announcement from United Spinal Association.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. She is a communications major at USM and took a gap year after high school. Please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Miss Sonia Woods. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you here. Would you encourage high school graduates to take a gap year after high school?
Absolutely. When you're after graduation, like most most high school students, you're in their 17, 18 when they graduate high school. And I just feel like that's pretty young to pretty much know what you want to do with your life. So I definitely encourage a gap year to give you that time and space to figure out what you want to do with your life.
I think that's great advice. A lot of people can relate to that because when you finish high school, and a lot of people when they go into college, they switch their major a lot, they don't know what to do, and then it can be really stressful. So I think that's great advice. Can you tell us about your journey? For instance, how was it like taking a gap year?
So after I graduated high school, I started working at McDonald's in Ridgeland, Mississippi. And then in 2016, I enrolled at Hines Community College in Rankin campus. So it was pretty, gap year, it wasn't bad. It gave me a lot to think about, and it allowed me to get into the workforce at a young age and to see how that's like versus going straight into college.
What all did you do during your gap year?
So I worked at McDonald's, and then in 2016, I enrolled at Hines, and then around that time, I started working at Shoe Station in Flowood, Mississippi. And I've been there for like 7 years.
7 years? That looks great on your resume,
Yeah.
for sure. So you had a lot of responsibilities in your gap year. You weren't just sitting around doing anything. How did working affect you going into college now? Like, did you take anything from working into college?
I would say so. I was able to earn real life experiences, and being introverted like in high school and being able to like work in a workforce, it kind of brought me out of my shell because I had to like be, a little assertive and speak up and things like that.
Was it difficult returning to a high demand workload after your gap year?
Not necessarily. There was like a level of uncertainty enrolling back in school at my age. I enrolled last year in the spring semester at the age of 26, so there was a level of uncertainty enrolling at my age because I was like, ooh, I'm a little bit older than the traditional college student.
Speaking about being older, does it feel kind of weird? Do you feel like you're kind of out of a group being older than people, or is it something that you like and enjoy?
Yeah, sometimes I feel out of place being here. I feel like I'm still getting acclimated to the Southern Miss campus. I'm a junior, but I feel like a freshman for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, would you say you feel more like a freshman because it's your first year here?
I would say I feel like a freshman because I'm still not familiar with everything, like as far as like the buildings and like opportunities that's available to me. And I guess I just haven't found like my people yet, but I feel like this semester has kind of changed for me. I'm able to like meet new people here at Southern Miss today and things like that.
What would you say is the difference from Hines Community College to USM?
Well, for one, it's like the teacher and student ratio. At a community college, I think it's a more intimate setting versus a university. You don't get that intimate setting at a university. It's like at a community college. So I would feel like that's the difference. And I would think like the course load would be a little bit more rigorous versus a community college.
That's normal. Do you think going to community college first has its benefits instead of just jumping straight to a university?
Absolutely. I would always recommend going to a community college first if you don't have any like scholarships or anything like that. It's a good way to save money and cut back on loans and things like that. Because one thing about college, it doesn't guarantee success, but it definitely guarantees debt. I would say that.
Yes, that's right. So what made you choose going to a community college first versus a university?
So actually, when I graduated high school in 2015, my initial plan was to major in journalism broadcast here at Southern Miss. And my sister, she persuaded me to maybe you should go to a community college to save money since you don't have any like scholarships and things like that. So my goal was to I always want to come back to Southern Miss, but yeah, that's what persuaded me to go to Hines Community College. And I'm glad I made that decision.
How old were you when you finished your gap year?
So I graduated in 2015, so I was 18, 19 when I did my gap year.
Okay. Going back to what you said, just having confirmation hearing how young you were, it is difficult to just decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. So how did you make that decision?
To be honest with you, I'm still figuring it out. And I guess because being in the workforce, it kind of like earning like minimum wage, you will want to like try to go to a trade school or go to enroll into a college or something like that to like upgrade your skills and try to earn more pay.
That's good. How does it feel returning to a new environment as a transfer student and at your age?
It kind of made me uncomfortable, but not necessarily in a bad way, but I guess in a good way. It kind of like made me feel like a child in a sense because at my age, staying in a dorm and it's like sometimes I have thoughts of like, okay, should I just go ahead and finish because I'm already so close to graduating. So there is a level of uncertainty of coming back to school at my age.
Yeah, well, life has so many uncertainties, and I think it's really inspiring that you're on this path, you're continuing to do it and get your degree despite having these uncertainties and feeling sometimes a little out of place. But would you say going to university here, did it open you up some and make you, like I remember you saying that you're more introverted. Do you feel like it made you out of your uncomfort zone in a positive way?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
Why would you say so?
Well, college. One thing about college is it can be lonely if you're introverted, and I recognize as I gotten older, it can be a lonely place if if you're not sociable and don't communicate and things like that.
I agree, it can be. Are there any ways that you feel like being here over time has made you not feel lonely?
Yes, I'm I communicate more. I don't know what it was last year. I wasn't that communicative, but I'm more communicative this semester. I met more people, and I was just thinking to myself, like last year, it just wasn't like that. But for some reason, the transition for me, it was more easier being able to just meet people, exchange numbers and do collaborative projects with people and things like that.
Can you discuss any challenges you may have faced during your gap year or how you might have overcome those challenges?
One thing for certain, I think it depends on the individual. I do recommend the gap year, but sometimes with the gap year, you have to be careful because if you take a gap year, you may not want to return to school. But for me, the drive was always there for me because I just don't want to restrict and confine myself to like retail or the minimum wage type jobs. So it, I guess it was very, not that challenging, but it was a little challenging working and then like trying to make a decision to go back to school. Yeah, it was just a lot of things to think about in the gap year because in the gap year I saved. My goal was like to save a little bit money so I can have money for college and things like that.
So the gap year was very beneficial. It gave you time to think about what you wanted to do, to save money, and you feel like you're in a good place now?
Yes.
Okay, then that's exactly what you needed to do. What advice would you give someone considering taking a gap year, but they're not sure how they're going to be able to adjust?
Well, one thing I can say is life is going to life, and there's just so many opportunities out there. You have online school, you have trade school, you can enroll into a college, you can enroll into a community college. I would say just give your time, take a gap year and give yourself time, but don't be too hard on yourself at that young age trying to figure it out. That's advice I would give someone that's trying to do a gap year.
If you could do anything different or change your academic path, would you, or do you think this is exactly what you were meant to do?
I think this is exactly what I meant to do because initially I wanted to do journalism, broadcast, and communications is my major, so I feel like it kind of falls in line with that. I can pretty much enter any field with that type of major.
What would you say to someone, like as a rebuttal, someone that says gap years aren't beneficial, that they hold you back, or something crazy, saying that they make you not want to go back to school?
I can see someone saying that when I took my gap year, I felt like I initially felt like I didn't want to go back to school because it's like, what's the purpose? But I always will argue that, a gap year is beneficial. I want to say, I could be wrong, but don't quote me. I believe former President Barack Obama, Malia Obama, she took a gap year, and the young actress Yara Shahidi, she took a gap year, and I believe they both Harvard alumni. So
That's right. I forgot about that.
So I thought about that. I was like, yeah, they took a gap year. And I want to say we're around like the same age. So
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with taking a gap year. It is
Absolutely
great for everyone involved. Is there anyone else in your family that took a gap year, or are you the first to do it?
I would say I'm the first to do it. My sister, she's like one of my biggest inspiration, and she's definitely kept me on the right track. She went to college. Well, she went to Tougaloo College and finished. When I graduated high school, she was graduating from Tougaloo College.
So would you say, seeing how, you said your sister took a gap year, right?
No, she
Oh.
didn't.
Do you have any friends or anyone else that took a gap year, or is there anyone that you saw do it and you said, they did good, so I want to do that too?
No, not necessarily. When I graduated high school, I was just still trying to figure out what to do with my life. I think I was just doing the because I never I don't say never, but I guess I never thought seeing myself in college because I just never felt like I was smart enough to attend college. But I'm glad I'm here today, and sometimes I don't like the old age wisdom, if you don't go to college, then, you're not going to succeed. And there's just so many opportunities out there besides college.
Mm-hmm. And even a gap year, it opens your mind to seeing other opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to experience work into the workforce and, experience life experiences and things like that. So.
Okay. Well, that was great advice, and thank you so much for coming on the show today, providing insight about what a gap year is in your academic journey.
Thank you.
Coming up, we've got a community calendar. Hey Golden Eagles! My name is Kennedy Drake and I'm here with the Community Calendar, where we gather information from around campus and within the community near you in Hattiesburg. The Southern Miss Activities Council will be hosting a virtual reality racing stimulator event March 8th at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Union Lobby. This will be an afternoon of competition that allows everyone to feel they're actually behind the wheel of a race car. Come to battle with your friends while getting the thrill of race car driving. Indulge in a captivating journey through time during the afternoon tea experience at the historic Ross Mansion Bed and Breakfast. Save the date of March 9th at 1 p.m. in your calendar. This enchanting setting invites you to savor a delightful array of fine teas, pastries, and finger sandwiches. Stepping foot in this mansion will ensure that you feel like royalty. Tickets will be purchased on the website on screen. USM's Office of Online Learning is hosting their event, Applying the Quality Matters Rubric Workshop for Southern Miss faculty. This is an online WebEx event on March 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Guests will learn helpful recommendations by applying the rubric to an actual course. Space is limited and registration closes March 9th. Get your tickets on the mobile website eventbrite.com. Get ready for a trivia night on March 12th at the Porter at 8 p.m. Local comedian J. Evan Curry will lead us through 3 rounds of fun questions. The winner of each round will get a variety of prizes. Come out and prove which of your friends is the smartest in the group. If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu. This is just one way we thank our community for watching Southern Miss TV and supporting us here at Southern Miss Student Media Center. Visit our website, sm2media.com, to keep up with all of our news. Signing out, I'm Kennedy Drake, and this has been your Community Calendar. Thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Thanks to our audio engineer, Justin Ware, and our live stream producer, Cullen Rogers, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Annalie Johnson, executive producer, Ohari Adia, and program director, Shania Williams, and our general manager, Dr. Martin. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle fly. I'm your host, Kennedy Drake, signing off for now.